What are damaging winds? We see these warnings for damaging winds all the time, but I'll explain to you exactly what they are. Now, damaging winds refer to gust strength. So gusts, those are those 3-second bursts of wind that you feel, not sustained winds. If you look at wind speeds in your forecast where it says 40 to 50 km/h winds, that's actually the average winds. Gusts can be much, much higher than that, up to 2 times higher than that, in fact. So damaging winds are gusts in excess of 90 km/h, up to 124 km/h. So what does this do? This usually results in tree branches falling over. So you can see like a snapped branch, for instance, something like that. And that in turn can fall into a house, it can fall into a car, it can fall into a telephone, communication pole, or even power lines. So you sometimes, depending on the longevity of the wind event, can see some power outages due to this. But the next step up is destructive winds. Now, destructive winds, you're almost kind of guaranteed to see power outages because destructive winds are those in excess of 125 km/h, and that's enough not just to snap branches, it's enough to uproot trees. So you actually physically pulling the roots of the trees up, and you can see that photo. It's a distinct difference here. It's also enough to cause some minor structural damage to houses, particularly roofing, and some outhouses which are not up to building code might also be taken out by destructive wind gusts. And again, depending on the longevity of the wind event, you can see much more widespread damage. Now, cyclones can sometimes bring very destructive wind gusts. We saw that in Darwin earlier this cyclone season with Cyclone Marcus. Remember all those trees topping down? That was destructive wind gusts. And it reaches 164 km/h. That's the threshold. And then after that, we call it very destructive wind gusts. We're not very creative when it comes to things after that. So if you have a severe weather warning for damaging winds in your area, the SES, the State Emergency Service, always advises the following: to move your trees under cover and away from trees, because you don't want that tree branch to snap over and then fall onto your car, right? You also have to secure or put away loose items around your house, yard, and balcony. And it's very important to think of that trampoline, because I always see trampolines flowing around in the wind, and they make for some pretty big airborne projectiles. And also keep clear of any fallen power lines. Now that goes without saying, but some people still need to be reminded of that. So severe weather warnings for damaging winds across the southeast right now, and that's what you need to know.